this individual that I want to look at is someone that someone just mentioned. And the reason I want to look at this individual because no one the miracle that he did, that's a miracle that for us to see today will make us shiver, will make us whoa, like how is it possible? No way. Like even us who believe, we will realize that we truly didn't believe when we see it happen. Because to see such a thing will just give you this sense of awe. Now let's look at Elijah, right? Elijah, can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Praise God. So Elijah had a very important role, right? Elijah was a very key figure in the history of Yasharel, serving as a bold prophet and confronted the kings, performed miracles, called the nations back to covenant, to faithfulness. Here are the key aspects of his role, right? He was confronting idolatry. Idolatry at this time was rampant throughout Yasharel, right? A lot of them was worshiping Baal, the Canaanite gods. Um, you know, Elijah wanted to confront all of these people. He's proclaiming the divine judgment, right, against Ahab and Jezebel. Jezebel was a queen of the Phoenicians, if I'm not mistaken, at that time. Very wicked people. So he came to proclaim and say, no, like what you're doing is wrong. He performed miracles, right? During the drought, he brought Yahuwah brought food and water for Elijah through the ravens and later through a window in Zarephath, right? Raising the widow's son, parting the Jordan River, serving as a forerunner of repentance. So he came to bring, he was the mediator between Yahuwah and the people. The people were going about their business. He came to bring a change. He mentored Elisha, right? Elisha said, I want double the portion that you had. His unique departure. So Elijah did so many great things throughout the scriptures. We know the number one thing that a lot of people remember Elijah for was when he challenged the 450 prophets of Baal, right? So when he challenged the 450 prophets, let's look at that story. Because there's something that I want to extrapolate from that. Right. So 1 Kings 18:20. So Ahab sent unto all of the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. Okay. And Elijah came unto all of the people and said, how long will you wait? Would you halt in between two opinions? If Yahuwah be Aluah, follow him. If Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. So we can look at the characteristics of Elijah, the type of mannerism he had. He was bold. He was look, no one can tell him anything. Why? Because he had a relationship with Yahuwah. He truly believed in what he was saying. He truly believed in what he was saying. What man will go to 450 people, prophets, and not believe? Speaking so much audacity that he does not believe. Then we look at 18:22. Then Elisha went on to the people, if only I remain a prophet of Yahuwah, but Baal's prophets are 450 men, let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, cut it into pieces, lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on the wood and put no fire under. And you call you on your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahuwah. And the Yahuwah that answers by fire, let him be your Elohim. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. So he created a challenge, one bullock, sacrifice it, put it on sticks, and whoever's Alua, whoever's Elohim, cools down the fire, then we know that they are the true Elohim. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you the bullock, dress it first yourself, for you are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given, they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from the from morning even until noon, saying, "Oh Baal, hear us." But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made, and it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry out loud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, a pre-adventure. He sleepeth, or he must be awakened. So we see Elijah's this take. Why was Elijah taking this mockery of them? Why was he so confident that Yahuwah, who he claimed to be his Alua, would speak, would do as he said? Why would he mock them? Because he had a relationship with Alua. He believed. He knew Yahuwah personally for himself. And he knew that he was the only Alua there ever was, to ever be, that ever existed. So he knew the others were man-made. He knew the others were, whatever you want to call them, the Nephilims, whatever you want to call them, little gods, every religion on this earth have a god. Every culture have their own gods. There's none that doesn't have a god. Even the atheists have a god. They say they're atheists, but you can make yourself a god. You have a god. There's a god. Whether it's science is their god, should we say. Everyone has their own god, but Elijah believes so much that he was mocking them. He mocked them. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. Wow, cutting yourself so deep. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither a voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near, come unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahuwah that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahuwah came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahuwah, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as it will contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it in on the burnt sacrifice on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran around the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. So some people might say, well, Elijah, why would you need to do all of that? You don't need to do all of that. Like, if you believe, let's bring it down. But do you know why he did that, Mishpika? Because we know water and fire don't go hand in hand. We know water quenches the fire. So by him doing that, not just one time, not just two times, not but three times, that was to show them once my Allah answers, you cannot say, oh, you had fire there in the beginning. This is why. You cannot say, oh, because of this. Oh, it's because of that. You will be, whoa, this is surely a miracle. I have no reason of why this happened. I can't justify it happened because of this, because of that. Same way with Abraham when he went to go get Lot back, if I'm not mistaken, and the king of Salem, if I'm not mistaken, wanted to give him. He said no. Why? Because I don't want you to say that you enrich me. These are the reasons why these things were done, is so they can say, hey, I can't say, I can't say nothing. And it came to pass at the time of the offering and the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah, Allah of Abraham, Isaac, and Yasharel, let it be known this day that our Allah is in Yasharel, that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things by the word. Hear me, O Yahuwah, hear me, that this people may know that you are Yahuwah El Alua, and that thou hast turned their heart back again, so that they have turned their heart back again. Then the fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, Yahuwah is the Allah. Yahuwah is the Allah. So Elijah was a great vessel. He was paramount to the transformation or the exodus of the way that these people were thinking, believing that they can go and worship other gods and they'll be okay, believing that they were whatever God you created, it didn't matter. As long as you give them some sacrifices, as long as you cut yourself, it's okay. Elijah showed them otherwise. They fell on their face and they said, Yahuwah is the Allah. Yahuwah is the Allah. So I'm giving you this depiction of Elijah because I want to show you how much he believed, how much not only just belief, but how audacious he was. But Mishbika, when we go to the next chapter, this great man that we just read right in front of us, the depictions of what he did for Israel. When we go to chapter 1, verse 1, and Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and with how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not your life as life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. And he said that and when he saw that, he arose and went for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and he left his servant there. Meshbika, come on, listen. His journey up until this point was very difficult because the children of Yahshua was very hard of hearing. He had many challenges and he overcame them all. And towards the end of his life, he overcame every challenge. However, this was one of his biggest challenge that he had. Fear entered him. He became anxious. He became worried. But this is the same man that spoke to Yahuwah. This is the same man that said, let there be fire, and there was fire. This is the same man that was used to feed Yasharel. This is the same man. But he looked back and he ran. He ran for his life. So let's put ourselves in his shoes. You know who you are. You believed. You've gone out your life to show other people who Yahuwah is. And then you have this challenge, this difficulty. And then you look back. Or you're like, I don't know, I'm unsure, don't know what's going on. You doubt yourself. You're in disbelief. You said that he will protect you all your life, all the days of your life. You read Psalms. But then now, one of the biggest challenge of your life, whether it's doubt, whether it's fear, whether it's temptation, whatever it is, has made you rethink like, do I truly believe in what I was doing? And Mishpika, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because same way with the song, and it says, I'm never going back. I believe maybe not all of us, but some of us here has either been faced with a challenge of feeling like to go back, not necessarily to Christianity, but to go back and just do your own thing. Or you have seen people in this walk who have gone back. But you ask yourself, you see all of these miracles, E1B1A, you see the map, you see Deuteronomy, you see the lineage, you see the scriptures, you see all of these miracles, you see quote unquote fire coming down by seeing the awakening happen throughout the whole world. But then you're thinking, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm having doubts. I'm double guessing. I want to live my life now. You allow temptation to come in. But the zeal that you had in the beginning was there. This fire that you had there was burning. But now it's being quenched. He ran. Now, some people lately in this awakening have been saying that this has become another religion, or this is another religion. It's another form of Christianity. It's another form of Islam. They're saying that we have become just as bad as the others. So what's the difference? Some say it's burdensome. I feel burdened. I feel like, what's the point? I have to jump through all of these different hoops just so I can have a relationship with the Creator, just so I can be protected, just so I can one day make it in to the New Jerusalem. I have to do all of these things. I have to jump through all of these hoops. What's the difference between Christianity and this? It's the same. These are what people have been saying. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, because this is an issue that we are facing in our community at this moment. This could be an issue that we are facing within ourselves at this moment. That you've seen so many miracles, not miracles of fire, not miracles of the Red Sea splitting, not miracles of walking on water, but you've seen miracles in your lives. You've been rescued. You've been saved by the grace and the mercy of the Most High. There's things in your life that has happened that has no logical understanding or reasoning to it. You see the awakening happening amongst the whole world. You've seen so many other miracles aligning and coming together. But for some reason, Hashatan has been able to go, to seep the seed into our food, into our mind, and it's captivated us to the point where we are we're doubting, we're worrying, we're anxious, we don't believe. Maybe the scripture's not real anymore. Maybe they've concocted this book to bring us together, but to bring confusion. Why? Because I'm gonna share why. Why people believe. They say Israel as a community right now is confused because of all of these different things that we as a people are going through. Let me share my screen. Hmm. Okay, let me close this. Miss Mika, what I'm trying to show you here, what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that we can see all these miracles, we can see all of these things, and we may not see some miracles, right? But we cannot allow the outside noise, what people are saying, to be how we determine our relationship with the Most High. We cannot allow culture to be the determining factor. The Israelite community today, right? These are the things that we as a community today debate about time and time and time and time and time and time again. Where some people who are looking, listening, they're getting discouraged. They're getting overwhelmed. They're saying this is not community, this is a dysfunction. We are arguing who are the true Israelites. I saw a post earlier this week. It was okay, the top part, it's they're Hamites, the bottom part are Shems. We're talking about scriptural authority. Some say we don't accept the New Testament. Some say we do. Some say we accept the Apocrypha. Some say we do. Some say we don't accept KJV. Some say we do. Some say, well, Septuagint. Some say we're arguing about the name. Is it Yahuwah? Is it Yahweh? Is it Ahaya? Is it Yahawashai? Is it? We're looking at the calendars, the feast days, the dietary laws. We're looking at the role of women. What can women say? What can't they say? What should they wear? What shouldn't they wear? Polygyny, or is it monogamous? Is it the true will of the Most High? We look at the Messiah. Was he a prophet? Was he not a prophet? Did he come to turn away things? We look at who's a Gentile, who can be saved, who can't be saved. We look at the Sabbath. Is the Sabbath on the seventh day, quote unquote, Saturday, or is it the new moon? Do we go by the new moon? We're looking at the clothing. Can we wear zitzis? Do we not wear zitzis? What are we supposed to wear? We look at the law. Okay, do we practice all of the law? Do we do this? Do we do that? We look at the role of the modern Jewish community. Do we follow their book? Can't remember their book. Do we take some information with their book? So many different things that we're arguing about as a people. Zaki and Sam, my one boy.
Slicker Warrior, it's just that your screen is a bit, the writing, we can hardly see it. At least people of my age, even with my glasses, I'm struggling. Thank you. Otherwise, keep going.
Okay. Let me see. No problem. Let me make some adjustments.
Warrior, and also if you could send it in the group, because what you're sharing is really good.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yes, do forgive me. Do forgive me. So these are the things that we are arguing today about. Who are the Israelites? The scriptural authority, the name of the creator, the calendar, the feast days, the dietary laws, the role of the woman, the Messiah, Gentiles. Who's a Gentile? Who's not a Gentile? Can they be saved? The Sabbath, clothing, like the clothing that we wear. Do we wear tzitzis? Do we wear it every day? Do we wear only on the Shabbat? The law. What type of sacrifices that can we do? the role of the modern Jewish community, right? With their books, some tradition. Do we take from them? The end times. Hey, this is a big one. The end times. This is a big one. But there's a bigger one coming. Yeah, there's a bigger one coming. The use of titles and language. Do we say more, rabbi, elder? Can we do we do baptism? Or is it immersion? Do we do sprinkling? Music. What type of music can we listen to? Zionism and returning to the land. So this is a big factor that we're going through right now as a culture. Should Israelite physically return to the land of Yasharel or Israel? Some of us say yes, some of us say no. Some of us say, where is the land? Some of us say, well, the land is here. Someone says the land is here. Oh, but you have to return anyway. Okay, but where? Well, we don't know, but it's in Africa. But where in Africa? I'm sharing this, Mishpika, because as a people, I've seen in these last 2 years a lot of people who said, I'm never going back. They've gone back. I've seen people who don't believe anymore. I've seen people who said, well, what I believe is no longer true because it doesn't make sense. The reasons of why they give is irrelevant to this conversation. The reason why I'm bringing this up, Mishpika, because we believe what we know, but we don't know what we believe. When you truly know what you believe, nothing can. You might be swayed a little bit. You might even get a hiccup where, but you always return back to what you know to be true. You would always say, you know what? I'm struggling in this period of time of my life, but I know that is true because I had a relationship with him. And that's why we have to study to show ourselves approved, because there's a lot of us who don't study. There's a lot of us who rely on YouTube, who rely on meetings, who rely on Shabbats to get the true understanding. And then when we hear something that is contrary to what we heard, we either get swayed or we become confused. I had a conversation with this individual, and they were telling me that they no longer believe anymore. They explained why. They said that, well, the story of Moses is not 100% true. He didn't write the book of Genesis. He didn't write it. So then that doesn't make sense. They said, oh, the Red Sea, it's not true. Still pointing out so many different things. Oh, the book was taken from other things and it was compiled together. I said, okay. And they said, well, it was burdensome. I realized that it was very much burdensome and it didn't make sense to me. Why would a creator create all of these hoops to jump around? And that doesn't sound like a creator that I want to serve. So, okay, no problem. This is the rhetoric that I'm hearing a lot. Why would a creator who's loving, who's this, that would... Mishpachah, at the end of the day, they didn't understand in the beginning. There was a movement. It sounded great. It sounds better than Christianity. We can say we are the people. Let me go with the movement. But at the end of the day, they did not truly believe in what they were doing. So we have to ask ourselves, do we truly believe in what we're doing? Do we truly believe that this is our culture, or is it another religion? Because guess what? We're going to see a lot of things on the internet. Guess what? We might start seeing things in the news that says complete opposite of what we believe. So you have to ask yourself, when push comes to shove, would you run like Elijah? And if you do run, would you come back? Or would you just keep running? Stay running? When you set your belief upon facts, upon concrete, hard evidence that cannot be disputed, it is hard for your faith, your belief to be swayed by the different winds of doctrines because you know where your faith is established upon. When your faith is established upon a movement, when it's established upon the emotions, when it's established upon the feelings, ideas, concepts, you can always be swayed. You can always be moved. You can always be swayed. No one can come and tell me that a rapture is coming. Oh, the rapture is coming. We heard last year in April, oh, the moon, this is happening. You can't sway me no more. You can't trick me no more. You can't tell me go left no more. Because if the Most High is not telling me to go left, I will surely not be going left. Why? Because I have a personal relationship with the Most High myself. I've taken the time and the effort to invest in my relationship with the Most High. I did not allow movement. I did not allow emotion. I did not allow out external factors to dictate who I wanted to be. This individual asked me, if the if heaven and hell wasn't real, would you still serve? Would you still believe? I was gonna rush the answer, right? Because that's typically what a lot of us would do. I said, you know what? Let me just take a moment and analyze and think. And I said, okay, I know that the hell that the record Romans talk about, it's not true. I know without a shadow of a doubt that people are right now are not burning in hell. They're not suffering, being tortured, and does not exist. I know because I've studied. So I said, what I do know is that those of us who have died already, we are sleeping. We are asleep, are waiting for another time to be resurrected. Resurrected for the millennial reign or resurrected for judgment. So I said, that I understand. Then I thought, okay, well, if I know I'm not going to burn forever, then it doesn't really matter. Then I thought, okay, what about the reward that I'm going to be given? The reward of the New Jerusalem, living forever, living with the Most High. I said, look, if these things were not, I would still be the same person because this is who I am. This is who I am. I'm not doing something because of the reward or the risk. How do I know that to be true? I left Christianity, and a lot of the people who know that I've left, it's been what, 2 years and a bit. They're expecting me to go out in the world and do so many things because they think because I've left the building that I've left my relationship with the Most High. Oh, how wrong they were. Because don't matter where I go, who I'm with, I'm still gonna stand for truth. I'm still gonna stand for what I believe. I'm still gonna stand for for the relationship that I have. Some people say, well, nobody's watching you. Yahuwah is. Yahuwah is. That's it. So I answered the question. I said, yeah, I still would. They're like, oh, okay, well, see, that's the big difference between me and you, that if heaven and hell wasn't, I probably wouldn't. I said, yeah, you're right. It makes sense. So I'm saying all of this. I'm bringing up these stories. I'm talking about Elijah. I'm talking about the different things that we're struggling as a community. I'm saying all of these things because I want you, Mishpachah, to think, to analyze where you are today. Why do you believe? Why do you choose to believe? Is it because of the fear? Is it because, oh, the reward? What is it? The reason why you believe? Is it because of your relationship? Is it because you truly believe in what you're reading? Or is it because it's a movement? It sounds great. Oh yeah, this is who we are. Is it because before you lacked identity and now you're receiving a form of identity and now you want to embrace it? Because this is not just a Israelite thing. A lot of people are clinging on to being Egyptian, clinging on to be African panism. We're all clinging on to different things because we all want to belong. When you look at your life when you was young and you had friends, you cling on to those friends because it was a sense of belonging. When you clinged on to Christianity, it was a sense of belonging. A lot of us want to belong, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to analyze, why do we believe?